What a friend we have in Jesus. Welcome back. That's the song I've been singing, y'all. Okay, welcome back to Simone C's. I am back with another energetic tapping, and this is going to be a dream message. Okay, this is going to be a dream download. So, the song I've been singing prior to tapping in was What a Friend We Have in Jesus, and I've been walking around the house singing it just like I just sang it, and my daughter was like, you sound like somebody's grandma. So there could be something going on in which I could be tapping into a grandma ancestor. This is a message of encouragement. Okay, I'm gonna get some oracle messages, I'm going to see what chakra is being affected. I'm going to get some further details out of the tarot cards. And again, this is just going to be a message of encouragement, okay? Because courage is what's coming up. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So in honor of this grandma energy, What a Friend We Have in Jesus, that song could be very significant. And then right after that, I was singing that, and then right before I tapped in, I was singing the 5 Heartbeat song. I Feel Like Going On. Okay, when Duck went to church and seen Eddie Kane and Choir Boy at the church after all them years. So those 2 songs could be significant. Okay, but let's tap into this energy. First, I'm gonna get a prayer, and then I'm gonna tap into this dream. This dream is very detailed, so I literally was writing for probably I would give it a good 7 to 10 minutes. I had to write this down because the dream was so very detailed. So let me get into this prayer. This is going to be regarding matters of the heart. Earlier this week, I had a hospital scare with my son, and he was having really severe chest pains. We had gone to the doctor previously. We had seen his endocrinologist, his diabetic team, and all that. My son has type 1 diabetes, for those of you who don't know. We had gone to the endocrinologist. We saw his medical team, updated his regimen, did, the normal, the usual to continue to work on his condition. And following that, early in the morning, he started having hella chest pains. Like, my kids have high pain tolerance. So I know it's real serious when they cry. So he was crying and he was complaining about his chest. And, of course, I took him to the doctor, rushed him to the ER. And, while we were in the ER, I have to say this too, for St. Joe's, baby, y'all ER stank. It smells like a pile of diapers was left in the corner. And just sit that there till we get ready to do it. All throughout now, I will say the people was very kind. Now, I had a lot more compassion from the men medical team than I did from the women when we were there. The women were a little bit more withdrawn, a little bit more rushed. Lack of emotion or compassion from the women, but the men that were treating my son were very concerned. It was genuine concern. There was a lot of compassion. They were very gentle. So shout out to the men of St. Joseph's Medical Center. Ooh, that one flew out. Yeah, shout out to the men of St. Joseph's Medical Center. So the prayer. And then, let me get into the heart, matters of the heart energy, okay? So after he got home, we were discharged the same day. He's fine. He hasn't had any more issues. I started to get heartburn. Following his incident, I started to get a lot of heartburn. So this is why I'm feeling like this is matters of the heart, okay? Now, the prayer that Spirit has flown out is from Deuteronomy 31, verse 8. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, okay? What a friend we have in Jesus, okay? And then it says Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up, okay? So this is definitely about courage. I guess not feeling bad for doing good for people, because I feel like in this despondent energy, it's not really the word. This is third eye chakra, crown chakra energy, right? But I'm looking at her throw her hands up to the situation as this person is looking up at her, you know? So she's got the world in her tummy. So this is giving earth energy, okay? A lot of purple energies been coming up. But I see somebody, I don't know why I'm getting like monster-in-law or say yes to the dress energy, because I'm looking at this woman down here like her hands are up. So it's like she's throwing her hands up to the situation, but the person at the bottom is upset. But it's giving something about a tailor, like, or a seamstress, or getting a dress altered or something like that, okay? So let's get into this dream download, okay? And then I'm going to get into the downloads that Spirit had when I was cleaning my cards. I did pre-shuffle them. And then, so we just going to get into it. On the dream download, okay? I had a dream that I was in the school setting, right? And I was wandering all around the halls. I was lost. I don't know if it was a college setting or like a high school setting. It seemed like college though, but it was a bunch of people, right, in the school. I was wandering around the halls and I was lost and I was trying to find the office, okay? So I had to go all the way to the other side of the school to get to this office that I was looking for. I went in and I had to talk to the principal, the head person of the school in the office, administration, right? So I go in and I talk to the principal. And when I was done, I had to exit. But upon the exit from the office, and the office was like hecka junky. The office had a lot of stuff, like the table carts you push around, and like hella books and stuff, okay? So when I was done, I had to exit, but I run into another staff member. It was a pretty black lady, and she had braids, and she looked kind of sad when she looked at me, right? But she greeted me, and then she let me out of the door. So I'm walking out of the door, and I have to walk back to the other side of the building to get to where I was going to get out, right? So I run into another group of people. And this other group is like kids coming out of the classroom, other kids coming out of the hall. But I run into a group, and as I'm coming, I see a group of kids. And I'm not downing on any special needs kids, but they were the special needs kids, okay? They were coming out of the classroom, so I had to navigate through all the special needs kids to get back to this other side through this corridor, right? So I was doing that, and they were switching periods at the time, so everybody was like kind of switching classes, but I still had to go back to the other side. So I run into this dude after I get out of the crowd of all the special needs kids. And the dude appears to me as Orlando Jones, okay? The guy that plays Nancy on American Gods. And I love you. This is just how this person appeared to me. So the name Orlando could be significant, or the name Jones could be significant, okay? But his hair was hella curly at the top, and it was tinted, and it was kind of like reddish brown. Like, it kind of had like the reddish brownish blondish tips, but it was real curly, real fine. And curly at the top. So it gave me like the Prince hair, like Purple Rain, okay? But it was like cut real nice. It was nice and neat. So I get to him, and I'm like, I need a ride. I don't know why, but we was kind of like had an attitude with each other. We was kind of like irritated with each other. I remember it was a newer silver car. So I asked him if I could have a ride, but I did have an attitude. And I've been seeing a lot about smart mouths. It's coming across my timeline. So definitely had a smart mouth, because the way I asked him for a ride was just real like, I need a ride. Okay, now he says yes, but he got an attitude too. So I don't know if prior to what happened there was an argument or whatever, but he had a big attitude too. So we both was like feeling salty. And I've been seeing energy of feeling salty all week. Okay, so we both was feeling salty, but he was like, he'll give me a ride, right? So I get in his car and I tell him I'll sit in the car while he finishes doing what he's doing, because by the time I get into this parking lot, it's dark and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm irritated and I'm ready to go, but I know he's still partying. He's still doing what he's doing, right? He was hanging out with a bunch of people, a few people. He seemed like he kind of drunk too, though. Okay, so we started arguing, and I don't remember why we were arguing in the dream, but he told me to get out of his car. So I tell him to F himself, and I proceed to walk home. Well, as I'm walking, I notice I'm being followed, okay? And it's like he was following me, but I don't know, because it was that person with this red tinted hair. I noticed I'm being followed, okay? It's a long walk for me to get home. It's cold, it's dark. And I remember in the dream, I had on a long black, now this don't necessarily have to be me. I'm just giving you a depiction because it's coming from me seeing it out of my eyes. A long black trench coat. I don't see what I'm wearing under the trench coat or none of that. All I know is it's a long black trench coat. So I noticed that I get to my house and he's sitting outside, right? But he sits outside because when I go to my house, it's like stone steps, and it's like the stone little handle, the sides of the steps are stone as well. So he's leaning up against the stones, right? On the steps. And I thank him for making sure that I got home safely. And I went in the house and he was still outside sitting on the steps up against the rails or whatever. So fast forward, after this scene, I enter a new scene and I go to the store, right? Well, I'm in line to pay for my items and all my cars are declining while I'm paying for the items in the store, right? So I'm at the register, my tap don't go through. Then I try my tap cards, they don't go through, right? And then those are declining. So I'm getting frustrated. So I step aside to see what's going on, and I'm letting everybody else go while I get my shit together, right? So I have one more card to try, and this is the physical card. It's not my tap. The last card I swipe, and it comes up as stolen. Okay? So I'm embarrassed because now the clerk takes my card. And my alarm goes off, and then I woke up after that. Okay, so that's my